What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Don't Starve Shipwrecked. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while. And actually, it's about time for us to leave the island. We've gotten just about everything accomplished here that we possibly can. Our traps are no longer fruitful, but there are crabs around. So which crab holes are now functioning? Because if there are functioning crab holes around here, I would like to find them. Typically, the crabs don't look like they're actually... Can I dig that out of the ground? Oh, it didn't kill him. Oh, brutal. You hit him with a shovel and he still didn't die? Wilson, you gotta work on that upper body. Oh, we only got sand that time. He juked us. We got juked by a crab. How do I feel right now? I just got defeated by a crustacean. It's disappointing. I wonder if they're not coming out because of the fish that's laying next to it. Like maybe the effervescent smell of death has convinced all the crabs to stay away for right now. I guess I'll pick these up and then we'll put them over here. It looks like there's like a little mouse butt sticking out of the back of the spoiled fish. Like it looks like there's a mouse behind it with its tail sticking up right there. I don't know if that's going to be high def enough for YouTube because YouTube, a lot of people ask me about this. They'd be like, so how come YouTube videos aren't of very good quality a lot of the time? I'm like, well, sometimes the commentator, no, I'm not going to fire any shots. I'm just joking. It's not like that. The reason why is because YouTube tries to squeeze a stupid... So videos have this thing called a bit rate, and the bit rate is basically how much data is contained visually in the video. And the bit rate is very, very important. So for something that's like true motion, so something like, let's say, Far Cry 4, it has a lot of motion. It runs at 60 frames per second if you're on a good PC. And that's a lot of data. It takes a ton of data to keep every single pixel on the screen moving in the way that it's supposed to be moving and maintain... you know, that perfect quality without running into problems with blurring and things of that nature. And so normally when you were making a video Far Cry 4, you would give it a bit rate of, oh, I'd say probably 14 to 15 million and 60 frames would be close enough to where it would have experienced some quality loss. But at the same time, when you're dealing with 60 frames, sometimes you just got to go all in. And so anyways, things get a little bit more... data intensive once you do things in 60 frames per second. Back in the good old 30 frames per second days, you didn't even have to worry about it. It was fantastic. I miss those days so much on YouTube. I miss the days where you could get away with 720p. Oh my god, when I first started, 720p was the standard. It was the stuff. Like, no more, no less. You didn't have to do 1080p. It existed, but like nobody used it, so you didn't feel obligated. 720p videos, it took like 5 minutes to edit and render them. Oh, it was the best. It was the best. Those were the days, my friends. Those were the days. Also, my not-so-friends, but my friends, too. I've got 7 limpets. Our health is looking really, really shabby right now. I don't know how I'm so close to death. I do feel like my health is going away, like falling off on me here. Luckily, limpets are really, really good for us, so we should be able to get at least something back right there. Well, at 21, I guess not. I'll have to wait for these groves to be done. They're getting really, really close. Almost there. Hopefully they don't grow at differing rates, otherwise I'll have to chop like 1, 2 at a time, and it'll just suck. I don't like to spread things out like that. So the next thing we need to work on typically is the prestidigitator. Tends to be the next thing up that you want to run with. The prestidigitator, actually a rainometer and a thermal measurer would probably be a smart idea too, just so we could have some kind of monitoring system in play. Oh man, where is that? Hold on. Take the torch, we'll run some of these gropey hands back out into the darkness. Perfect. I don't feel like getting groped by shadows right now. There are times when I'm like, yes, grope me, shadows. Let me bathe in your darkness, that I might be Bane. But not right now. I don't have the energy at the moment. I don't have the energy. I had kind of a half-assed breakfast. The day has just not lined up like that. It just has not lined up like that. I'm going to cook like 5 or 6 of these. How's that sound? And then after cooking 5 or 6 of said seeds, that'll help me get my hunger up a little bit more. I think you get 1 health per cooked seed. Yeah, indeed you do. I love cooked seeds like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. Doesn't really matter. Seeds are really, really delicious. Give you something to sit there and chew on. They don't generally tend to be that nutritious, though. Tends to be kind of just like a busy food, basically. Is that the only frond that I have? Okay, so I got the fronds right there. Actually, the next thing we should consider building is a shelter. And if I could find... Chest. There's another chest out there somewhere, but I can't see it properly. I'm gonna wait for the night to end. Till the night closes in. Alright, cool. So I watched that Ridiculous 6 movie. Man, Adam Sandler is really phoning it in lately. He is like really... I knew he was clocked out, but man, you can tell from the films that he just does not care anymore. He's like, listen, I got signed and they paid me like $12 quadrillion to do these Netflix movies. There's no heart in this. There's no spirit. I am doing this purely to honor my negotiations. I'm like, guess so. Damn, son. That Ridiculous 6 movie was awful. Although anytime Rob Schneider shows up, you know it's gonna be a debacle. You need to build a shelter from the rain. Where my shelter at? Actually, it might be in the survival menu. Yeah, the palm leaf hut. Hut, hike. Let's get ourselves a hut built. I think I need you. I could use some ropies. Yes, indeed. Now that we got our ropies, we'll jump back into the survival menu. And first things first, I'm the realist. We will put it something. We got to move the spear. Hold on. Spear, you got to move for me. Does it stay built? It does. I knew it did something like that. I just couldn't completely and totally remember. It uses up the parts. When you go to craft something, it uses up the parts, and then you get like a free copy of that item in your inventory until you build it. So this is going to keep us out of the rain. It'll help our sanity out a little bit while we're playing the game. Other than that, there's not a whole lot else I'd like to do over here. We do need a bunch more drying racks, but we're not really capturing meat anyways. So until we start adding meat to our diet, it's a thing that we could do. But it's not a thing that we, like, need to do right this second. Neither of our traps has come through or come to fruition. I'm going to go back. We're going to get the fishing rod, and then I'm going to go up to the fishing space up there while gathering kelp and seaweed and all that kind of stuff to make sure that... God, we could really use some help here. Like... I need to find some bottles. That's what I really, really need to find. I need to find some of the messages in a bottle. The messages in a bottle, they show you where treasure's at, but more importantly, they mark other islands for you. I found that while the treasure is nice, what I really, really, really like about the maps is that they... There's my boat. They give you very, very easy access to new islands without having to sail around in random directions hoping you find it, which is actually a bigger deal than it sounds. Our days are getting longer. That means summer's probably on its way in... I don't know what I'm going to deal with in the summer in this game, actually. I have no idea. It could be something, it could be nothing. It concerns me a bit, but we're going to go fishing for right now. I got to get some meat in my diet so that my health will come back a little bit faster. This game has always been particularly vicious about health. Like, you don't regenerate over time, you don't get it back. Like, you've actually got to do very, very specific actions in order to get your health back. And so because our health is so low, it kind of puts us right on the edge of the danger zone right now. You know, I thought that song was I Went to the Danger Zone like my entire life, and then I found out later on it was Highway to the Danger Zone. It changed my life once I figured that. Can I fish over here? So you needed a fishing spot in the previous expansions. It doesn't look like it's gonna work for me here. That's cool though. No harm, no foul. I just kind of wanted to look around for random items or random islands. Items on islands would be even better. Anything around. Getting poisoned right now would be horrible. That's the one thing that I do not want to happen. So I'm going to stay away from the stink bats for right now. Or the stink rays or whatever the hell they're called. It's a portmanteau. Or also an eggcorn, I think. Although an eggcorn might be where you're trying to use a portmanteau improperly. Like where there's no pun or anything like that. There's a rule for eggcorns. And I can't remember exactly what it is. There's got to be an island around here. We've got shallows on this side. If you follow the sandbar, usually eventually it ends up with... Oh, maybe not. Maybe it'll just dead end out on me. It'll dead end out on me like all of my prospects in these islands and Wilson's life and scientific career. It's all over. It's all ruined. We'll never make it. Give up now. Science can never be completed. I don't see anything around here. It is indeed getting late. I'm going to start to press back to the south. Once we get lined up with our island, I'll cut straight to the... Oh, I don't need to go around these right now. They're going in the same direction as me. Hooray! I was hoping we'd find an island so that we could spend the... I guess we could have like a little vacation. A little holiday. Stay away from the shore of our own island for... Oh, there's some seaweed over here. That's pretty sweet. You don't normally find seaweed unless there's an island around. We don't have a ton of time, but I do have enough stuff for torches that I can hold in my hand, so... Oh, he doesn't hold it while he's sailing. Oh, it's actually another reef. Okay. That is not satisfactory, but I suppose it's workable for right now. Yeah, this is another big old reef. Just another big old lovely reef right there. That's a little bit disappointing. I was not planning on being the reefer right now. I don't want to be all up in reefs. I wanted to find something that's actually useful. Like an island, mayhap, although there's mussels over here. We got grass on this side. That's good. Oh, we found the water buffaloes, or the water beefaloes. Good, 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 good. What's on this island? What are these? Obsidian? And a volcano staff. Huh. Did you know that the best scalpels and cutting tools are still to this day made out of obsidian? If you take it down to like the nanometer levels, like where you're actually measuring the surface of an object and the smoothness, obsidian stays smooth way, way, way down to like the really, really small, almost like atomic level. It stays smooth. Like it makes fantastic cutting tools. Uh-oh. I feel like I just broke something. And it wasn't wind. It wasn't wind. I promise it wasn't me. So now we've actually got a supply of dookie that we can make use of. So now that we got a big old shack full of shit, we can start to... I'm willing to bet that at least once to twice a day there's a shack full of shit. Mostly on the Lakers, but... I mean, he has to drop a BM. I wasn't really talking about him being full of shit. He seems like a cool guy to me. But anyways, back to the point. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat for like 20 seconds. There's so much illness going around in my house right now. My girlfriend drags it home from work, and then I get sick again. Every single time. Every single time. It is just... It is a thing that I go through every year. See, I work from home, so I'd like to think I wouldn't get sick quite as much if it weren't for my family members that have to go out and earn their grits the old-fashioned way, instead of mooching off the internet's collective graces as I do. However, I think in the next part, what I want to do here is we'll gather as much poo from the water buffaloes as we can. Once we grab the water buffalo, actually, what can I do with the obsidian stuff? I bet I got to take it back to... Probably have to take it back to a science machine. Can I make the tools from here? But yeah, obsidian is still a very, very fantastic material for building stuff. I was thinking about ordering some obsidian and sanding it down into like some plates or maybe into like some serving dishes or something like that. I've always been very, very interested in lapidary work. It's an old word that nobody uses anymore, but my great-grandfather was a lapidary, and after he died, there was a big influx. Like, he died when I was probably 3 or 4 years old. I was really, really young when he died. But before that, every year he would send me some of his old work, and if you don't know what a lapidary is, it's just a stoneworker. It's different from a jeweler. Like, a jeweler uses precious metals and things like that. A lapidary just works with stone in general, so he might make jewelry out of a piece of jade. He might, you know, make like a bolo out of jade, or he might make cufflinks out of some random granite that he found, you know what I mean? My great-grandfather was really, really good at it, too. He had all the tools, he had the turning wheels, he had the tumblers, he had all that stuff because he used to do lapidary work on the side. That was his hobby back in the day. Very, very cool stuff. He worked in a steel mill as his real job, but on his off days, he was always out in the lapidary shop, according to my mother anyways, working on that kind of stuff. I'm going to ditch this axe here. It's pretty broken, and I don't think we're going to need it. 'Cause he's broken. Something, something. I'm super glad it's not Evanescence on the radio anymore. Although now you got to put up with Macklemore and his stupid song about mopeds. God, can he make a more pandering song? We get it. You write weird raps. It's just mopeds. It seems like a choice that's so obviously weird, and just like I just don't get it. I wish Macklemore was on the radio Mackle-less. I don't like him. I don't like anything about him. I'm just, Clear your throat, man. Why you got a raspy voice all the time? Use a lozenge. Do something. You don't sound healthy, my friend. You don't sound healthy. I'm looking out for you and your throat. Oh, man, we're out in the rain again. However, it might be wiser for right now to spend our time exploring. The days are extending. They are becoming longer. The rains, I don't know if they're going to get worse. I have no idea what the next season... Why are there so many bottles over here? Must have drunk himself to death. We got a pirate hat, though. What does it do? Yar! I'm going to put it in my backpack so I can... No, don't equip it. I want to know what it does. Pray tell, sir, what doth it accomplish when dawned upon mine cabeza? Huh, I guess we won't know for right now. I assume it probably makes me better at sailing. You can get like a Playboy captain's hat too, like a Hugh Hefner hat that makes it so that your boat, it feels I don't know exactly what it does because I haven't wikied it, but the hat makes it feel like my boat is a bit more maneuverable. That's what I feel when I use it anyway. It makes me feel like the boat turns a little bit easier. We should probably get a hat going. I don't really want to, but it'd be helpful. Let's put on a hat. That'll lower the rate at which we accumulate random watery things on the top of our head. The rate at which we accumulate drippage. In general, I try to keep myself non-drippy. I don't like being drippy, droopy, anything that starts with a DR and ends with a Y. I'm trying to think of anything right now that would start with that I would want to happen, but I'm having a lot of trouble. Most of the words that are constructed like that seem to be a little bit negative. Droppy? I don't think droppy's a word, though, unless you're describing roller coasters. Like, how is that roller coaster? Oh, it's very droppy. How is Medusa? Ah, it's kind of droppy, you know. Medusa's a roller coaster next to where I live. It's actually probably the best roller coaster I've ever been on. In terms of smoothness, because smoothness is a big deal for me with roller coasters. I don't like it when the roller coaster, like, bangs you around and, like, rams you against the walls and gives you whiplash and stuff like that. For example, there's another roller coaster at the place that I'm talking about called Kong. And it's actually really, it's jarring. Like, it will rattle the teeth out of your mouth when you go on it. It is unfortunately rough. And I've never known if they can fix that by maybe just, like, greasing the thing. I know it's got to be more complicated. Oh, we found a message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. People say I don't make enough police references, so there you go. I made a police reference. That one is... Hey, we found a northward island, so that's going to be good. I don't know what the volcano staff does, but I'm a little bit concerned about it. Oh, man, and then we just got hit by a wave, too. Normally, when things wave at me, I'm like, yay, a new friend. But in the case of this game, it mostly just gets me wet. I guess that works out, too. God, what happened to this channel? What happened to this channel? Used to be such a proud, PG-rated channel. Now it's just like, how low can I stoop for the jokes? I don't know. If it's funny, we'll go ahead and give it a go. We'll tell the joke, and it probably worked out okay. I'm gonna need a bigger... Why? What are you gonna need a bigger boat for? Is Jaws around? I know there's a shark in the game, but I don't know if it can attack your boat or what. That makes me nervous, though. What do you mean you need a bigger boat? Like hell you do. I'm going back home. There's something scary out here. I don't trust this. Something bad's fitting to happen. I know it. We're going back. Going back to the island, Jack. Back to the island, John. You've betrayed the island. Surf's up. I've never been surfing. I have a latent fear of the ocean, which is odd because I snorkel. But I don't know. Something about the surf just doesn't do anything for me. I will snorkel in the ocean. I saw a 9-foot eel one time when I was snorkeling. It was terrifying. Like, you start to realize how many times in your life that thing was actually, like, hidden behind glass so that it couldn't do anything to you. And oh, shit. What is that? No. What are you? Are those piranhas? Like piranarchs? They're like piranha sharks. Well, I don't have any combat gear with me, so I'm just going to keep moving and hope that I don't get bitten. Yeah, your clothes are definitely permeable, amigo. We need to get back home. Oh, good, and we got stink rays over here, too. God, how can my life get worse right now? How could Wilson's... That's not even my life. It's Wilson's digital life. Wilson's digital life keeps getting worse. Maybe they'll fight with the stink rays if I get really, really lucky. Is he still on me? He's still on me. It's difficult to fight in the boat. I would not... Oh, look at that. He can go into the shallows, too. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to fight in the boat because it doesn't move very quickly. And so, yeah, like that happens, for example. Like, the boat has troubles with its giddy up and go. And so, anyways, the boat takes the damage, not you, which is a little bit of a downer. Our sanity's looking pretty sketchy as well. We'll probably want to build ourselves some kind of shelter. Let's get a fire going. And then we just need to chill out inside of here. And then once this starts to go down, we'll throw a poncho on for a little bit. It should go down really, really quickly. We should be able to dry off. Wow, look at that rain. I don't think I've ever seen rain this bad in-game. My God. It is going right now. It is coming down. Raining cats, dogs, and the rest of the menagerie. Oh, that's not good. Oh, the lightning. Oh, shit. That's definitely not good. Okay. So we need more lightning rods. Hold on. Give me that. And then I think I need blocks for it or something like that. What do I need for the lightning rods? We need more lightning rods. So I need stones. For I hath not the stones for this project. So now that we got our stones, I gotta put up another lightning rod. Otherwise, we still run the risk of burning down our super awesome base. I'll probably put one over here-ish. There we go. I didn't realize you needed more than one. Apparently, I need more than one. I gotta drain the charge. Actually, no, it'll strike the same one twice. It struck over there, though, which made me kind of nervous. I don't know what that means. We need to put on our poncho. We need to work on our sanity. Tomorrow, we might spend a bit of time just hanging out, hugging a sandcastle, basically. I need to drop some of that stuff in there. I think I still have, like, vast, ridiculous quantities of building materials just sitting around. Let me get my poncho, please. That should more or less eliminate the chance that we have of becoming very, very wet with time here. I think the rest of my food was in that backpack, though. Yeah, I was going to say, it seems possible. Let's cook the food, too. I don't know what I can do with seaweed, but it might be worth it. I'll put those in there, and we'll kind of just see what happens, and then I'll cook these ones. You gotta play around with the recipes for a while. You just load, if you don't know how the crockpot works, you load random foods into it until you figure out a couple of recipes. And then once you figure out how some of the recipes work, you'll be high and dry, which is actually a negative thing, I guess. You won't be high and dry. You will be low and soaked, I guess. Low and soaked, which is happy, I guess, if we're going by the same criteria for sayings. If you leave somebody high and dry, low and soaked doesn't sound that much better, though. Never really flipped that one on its ass before and had a look at it. Never looked at its undertum. That's what I call the bottom part of the cat. Like if you have a feline or a dog and it has a fuzzy tummy, I call that the undertum. What did it make? Oh, ratatouille. Okay, ratatouille's pretty good. I think I've only had ratatouille like one time in my entire life. But ratatouille's pretty good. I think I should probably chop down some of these trees. Actually, I've got that. Can I do anything over here? How do I make stuff out of obsidian? Because I've got obsidian. It's a fire rock. It is indeed. It's actually volcanic glass. It's cooled so quickly that it becomes super crystalline. Or microcrystalline, I guess, would be a better word if I was trying to be a little bit less confusing about the whole thing. I'm going to chop these down. We could use the food. I'm going to try and use the extra coconuts. I'd also just like to move this field. I feel like it's in the way, and I feel like it's constantly bothering me. I should probably put on my poncho. Where's my poncho at? Raincoat? Oh, there we go. Put my poncho on for a little bit. Keep my head dry. Perfect. Now then, I'm going to chop these trees down. We're just about out of time for the day, so my name is Splattercat. As always, this is Don't Starve Shipwrecked. I highly recommend just about any product by Klei, to be honest. Klei Entertainment has really, really high standards for making games. And so, if you haven't checked it out, I do recommend it. I think that the game is a lot of fun, even at its early access state. There's a lot of content here. Obviously, some of that is grandfathered in from the previous titles, but I don't think that's something to complain about. I really do think the game is doing very, very well for me so far. I've had trouble putting it down. I've been streaming it. I've been playing it in my free time. It's been a blast. And so anyways, I will see you all in future episodes of Don't Starve Shipwrecked. Don't know what we should work on next, but I know we should probably work on something. I will see you all there. Hi, everybody.